09, take 4. Action! Go!
You changed trucks, didn't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
The other one wasn't working, is that it?
That's it.
Should be safe. Just this side of...
I enjoy working with Blake Edwards
I think there should
because he and I are responsible for creating the Inspector. And I enjoy playing the Inspector because he's great fun and all facets of his personality are always intriguing to play.
No, but we do know that...
Do you find it a complicated process to recreate a character like Clouseau after having stopped for some time doing him?
Oh, well, no, because he's already there, you see. Having played him twice, I know just about everything about him. And although we have some changes, some very subtle changes in the Inspector this time, mainly oral, in appearance he's more or less the same, you know, and the things that happen to him. He's probably the most asked for, most successful character in comedy that I've played. Wherever I go in the world, doesn't matter where it is. And also I have an awful lot of fan mail from the Iron Curtain countries. And I don't know which one they've seen because I can't understand what they're saying. But it's something about the Pink Panther or something, you know, that you can figure that much out, you know.
Blake Edwards has said something about that Inspector Clouseau has turned older, but maybe not wiser. Do you agree with him?
He's certainly not wiser, no. What we have done is, I should say I have done in this case, is to suggest that, and put into practice, a much stronger French accent and the mispronunciation of words. Not the mispronunciation of words, I should say the words as they sound to the English ear. The pronunciation of certain words that we found in Shot in the Dark worked very well, and so we've made more of that in this instance, in this one.
I watched you yesterday when you were doing a scene by the pool. How much do you, when you do a sequence like that, improvise?
Well, of course, we improvised the remarks he made as he was sinking into the pool, because in the script it just says he floats to the surface. But it was a much better idea for him to sink with the pool after the truck goes into the pool, which you saw.
Quiet, here we go.
I know.
Goodbye.
All right, please.
Yeah.
Right, we're all right.
Guys.
Okay.
Speed.
Right, lower, Gee. Lower, Gee. Here we go, lads.
Come on, lower.
Get past up.
Let it come down a bit.
Nice Telephone Company!
No, wait a minute, Peter. Wait until you get down further. Wait till you get down further, because it's going to take a long time to go down. 1 second. Keep it coming. Go.
Nice Telephone Company! I have come to inspect your underwater telephone. Hello.
The fact that he says, I've come to inspect the bottom of your pool, and I am from the Nice Telephone Company, I've come to inspect your underwater telephone, just as the water comes up. I think those things happen at the time, you know, such as in Dr. Strangelove, the doctor's arm. That was an improvised thing, you know. In this, yes. It was more or less decided that I would go into show business from a very early age. My mother was determined that I would carry on the business. And so I was apprenticed to one of my uncle's theatres, doing a very menial job as sweeping out and taking tickets and things. But she wanted to make sure that I knew every possible thing about the theatre. She always used to say what her grandmother had said to her, never ask anybody to do a job that you can't do yourself. And so she wanted to make sure that I knew everything from sweeping out to stage managing to electrician, playing small parts, etc., etc. So that's how I ended up. But first of all, I rejected it completely and then became a musician. And I stuck that up for a while, and but then after the war there were a lot of drummers demobilized, all looking for work. It was a bit of a dead end as far as I was concerned, so I thought, well, I'd try my luck in radio. And I got into radio, and then from radio I got into films.
Talking about radio, I remember having read somewhere that you had a very remarkable way of getting yourself into the BBC, calling Roy Spear. How did that actually happen?
Do you want me to continue
Yes.
as the inspector or as myself?
As yourself.
All right, I'll take this off if you don't mind.
Lovely.
I'll put it down there. How about that?
That's marvellous.
Yes. I phoned up. There was a... No, it feels funny on that. There was a program on for new talent, and I tried unsuccessfully to get on this program. And at that time I was doing impersonations of various radio stars. And I took a chance and phoned up the producer of the radio program and said I was two well-known radio stars of that period, and took a chance that he knew them, and of course he did, because he was a senior producer. And I said, as them, that they had seen a very remarkable young comedian, and he should give him a break on the ship. And he said, yes, I will. What's his name? And I said, Peter Sellers. And then right after that, I said, this is Peter Sellers speaking. And he couldn't get over it. He said, what? Now, wait a minute, and then, et cetera, et cetera. It was a long story. Cut it short. He said, well, you're a cheeky young bugger. He said, but just for that, I'll come up and see me. So I went up there, and then he gave me a break on his program. It's called New Showtime. Showtime.
Yes, okay.
This is
All right,
called
break,
getting
we are ready,
into
sir.
a car prior to going underneath. Are you running? Good.
That's deliberate, love. That's how they...
We men of the Acme Stunt Service do this every Bastille Day. It's part of the celebration. It's known as going underneath in the Acme Pool Service, or wagon. I shall demonstrate how it is done.
Go flat on his arse.
Right. Okay.
Right, now, can everybody clear the background now, please? Move away, and can you take all the bits and pieces with you? Hello? Stand by to talk to the crane driver for me, please, Guy. Thank you. Right, please say when you are... Out?
No, this way. Don't pull trial on it, Chunky, because they want to go back this other bit.
Have a go.
Go rough,
You can clear the brutes now.
Go that way.
Clear the brutes.
Number over there, so we'll do it.
Brad, take that for me, will you? Or Brian? Zacker's in that envelope, Brian. Thank you.
It's without your hands on the wheel, please.
All right, stand by. All right, Peter?
Yep.
Right, roll it.
Turn over.
Lower away, Guy.
Wait, don't, not yet, Peter. We'll let the water come over first. Not yet. Not yet.
Acme Pool Service! I have come to inspect the bottom of your pool. Swing it out first.
Do it again. Take it up.
Right, take it up, Guy.
Take it up. Up.
Watch it, don't swing. I got it.
Okay. Hold it.
Okay, hold it. You all right, Peter?
Peter?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks. Right, now just raise it enough to get...
There was something about your wartime, your military service, where you really started doing your impersonations.
Well, one would get terribly bored, you see, and what I used to do is we'd visit stations, and we were unknown in the station, and consequently I would whip into the wardrobe and pick out something or other that I fancied. And I just walk into the officers' mess or the sergeant's mess and pretend to be one of them. And maybe we wouldn't only be there for 2 days, and I knew they'd never recognize me again because they were all drunk.
And you got away with it all the time?
Yeah, I never had... only one time in Burma at Christmas. It would be about 1943. It was Christmas in the jungle is a strange thing because you seem miles and miles away from home and the heat and seem so alien to the normal Christmas you spend. And I walked into the officers' mess and there was an air commodore in there, quite an old fellow, and I'd put some white on the side of my hair. And he said, even so, I looked very young. I was young at the time. And he said, "You look very young. What are you?" So I said, "Air Commodore, sir." This is Air Vice Marshal, he was. He said, "What are you doing out here?" So I said, "I'm here to buy you a drink." He said, "What a bloody good idea." He said, "I didn't know I asked you that question in the first place." "I'll have a large brandy." So I bought him a large brandy. And I said, "What are you doing out here?" He said, "I'm apparently talking to you."
Comrades, we Russian stunt specialists, whenever we do a stunt, drink only Junior. Junior is not only the most refreshing, the coolest, and the longest drink in Russia, it is the only drink in Russia.
In 1951, unforgettable Goon World.
Ah, we started the whole trend. And that is to say, Spike Milligan and Harry Seacombe were both in the army, and Mike Benteen and myself were in the RAF. We found, after the war, when we were demobilized, we didn't have a penny to scratch our bottoms with, and we found a friend of ours who was a major at Arnhem, had a pub in Victoria in London, and he used to give us free beer and whatnot. So we used to go down there and entertain up in one of his rooms. And people would come along, and gradually they began to hear about us, and we found we'd all got this sense of humor in common. And we decided we'd attempt to get on the BBC, which was very difficult. It was a closed shop in those days. I mean, the BBC was, there wasn't very much television, hardly any. And so eventually, through the good offices of a dear man who's now dead, Pat Dixon, we managed to get ourselves into the BBC and on the air doing... They wouldn't let us call it the Goon Show in those days. It was called Those Crazy People. It was a terrible title for it, but still, anything was better than nothing. And, of course, the show became legendary. After a while, in the beginning, the BBC didn't know what it was all about. But it gradually became the biggest listening figure in England.
Oui, monsieur.
Do you have a room?
A room?
What?
You said, do I have a room?
I know perfectly well what I said. I said, do you have a room? And if it has a bath, it might go easier for you.
You mean, do I have a room?
That is what I have been saying you for.
Do you have a reservation? I'm sorry, monsieur, without reservation, it is quite impossible.
I do not think you understand, monsieur. I am Inspector Clouseau of the Sûreté, and I am here on official police business.
I don't think you understand, Inspector. Whether you're here on official police business or not, this is the height of the season, and the hotel is full.
But that is impossible.
Monsieur, at this time of year, it would be impossible to be otherwise.
Listen, my friend. This is a matter of national importance. And if you continue to be difficult with me, I shall have no alternative but to have speaks with my superiors.
In that case, monsieur, we do have a room.
I thought as much.
It is quite small.
Are you superstitious?
Very. I think all actors are too.
And do you believe it possible to predict the future?
Absolutely. No doubt about that at all. You see, people who predict the future, if we think of the future, if we think of it in a line, say there's a person, and this was recently outlined to me by a very good friend who was a makeup man. On a hill or an eminence or something, like above, there's a line, A, B. That person who is up there, and this is a train line, you see, and there's people in a train. If he goes up there, he can see what's happening to the people at the moment and what's going to happen to them in the future, just by climbing up that hill. That's all it is. That's all it is, and he can look at both sides. So people who are clairvoyants just have the ability to raise themselves up above time as we know it and look down on us, where we've come from, where we're going to. Of course. And especially I think that people's lives are guided by the stars. I do really believe in, I think you have to have a very careful chart done. I don't think the daily paper thing is any good at all. But if you have a detailed chart, astrological chart done, yes, I do believe in that. Mm.
And now, back up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just see if you can turn right the way around.
Oh, yes. I need to come forward a little bit more.
All right.
So I do tune into people's voices very quickly, without knowing it quite often. And I find I'm copying them or something or other. They don't usually notice it because I drift into it. And then I suddenly hear myself doing it and I can't stop it because I have no real accent of my own. It's a sort of nothing sound at all. It's because of radio that, you know, because the more voices you can do in radio, the more jobs you get. So consequently, you know, it pays to have a lot of accents at your, or dialects at your command. So I once saw a Swedish film in, it wasn't a Swedish film, I once saw it in Los Angeles. It was called The Dove, or Le Dieu. And it started off aping the style of Ingmar Bergman. And this friend of mine took me along to see it. It said, absolutely a knockout. Bananas was on with it, the Allen's film. And it started off, and subtitles came up. And only about a quarter of the way through did I realize they were speaking actually in English, and the subtitles were in English. But they used the music of the Swedish language to do their dialogue. And it was really funny, you know, especially if you look at a lot of Swedish films. I don't know if that's ever going to go the rounds, but or has been the rounds in Scandinavia, but it, like the fellow when he first gives a very dark, stormy day, and the chauffeur met him, this old boy at the airport, and he said, "Riding in the plane, några skjut, det hit fin i hu." And he says, "Did you have a good ride in the plane?" He says, "Ja, ni bumpen in the plane, and ja, nej." And no bumps in the plane. And suddenly you're looking, wait a minute, what is it? Hey, you know, what's all that about? And all this sort of was going on. But they were speaking actually English. And it was very, very funny, very amusing, very amusing. And I think you could do that with lots of things, not only the... Because English has, you can listen to English people talking, for an example, and not know what they're actually saying, but just hear the sound, the music of their a party going on. Yes, that's also. And you don't really know what they're talking about, but you know that they're English. Think. And it's really good to see people going in to have a good laugh. Because there's nothing better in life to go and enjoy yourself, is there?